Alright, so here it is, the latest addition to my personal electric vehicle fleet. I have talked about this a few times. What we're looking at is a Backfire board, although it is upside down. This is a Backfire Ranger X1, a all-terrain skateboard. Something I've never had before, but it sounds like it would be a very cool way to enjoy, skateboarding, but not be as restricted as I feel like I am on the Meepo, where you really need flat surfaces. So this is double boxed, which I know some people really like that, I guess. I know Preston from Press Reset really likes double boxed boards. Me, I don't really care. It's heavy, definitely heavier than the Meepo. Much heavier. Alright, here you get a look at what the interior box looks like. There's a nice drawing of the board on there. Up top it says it has two speed modes. Two speed modes, two riding modes, inclines up to 30%, 6-hour recharge time, regenerative braking, 30 pounds, yep, pretty heavy. Wireless controller across, of course, 16.5-inch rubber wheels, flexible deck, and range up to 20 miles. So maybe I could try to do a Dunkin' Donuts ride on this without charging. That would be cool, huh? That would be really cool. Okay, so let's open it up. Backfire Ranger X1. I waited, I have to look at my order date, probably somewhere around a month to get this. Made in China. Alright. Much heavier than my Meepo. User manual. A little addendum for your controller. This looks like a camera mount. It's kind of cool. They include a light. Meepo gives you a light. This feels like a more higher quality light than what you get with a Meepo, for sure. Some screws to mount like your camera mount, I guess, in your light. The charge cord for the remote. Skate key. Power cord. XT60 adapter for something. I'm not quite sure what that's for. I'll have to read up on it. And then, of course, you have your charging brick. Charger for the X1 is a 3 amp charger. Okay, so that's a pretty substantial charger. That's good. A card, and I believe that's it. All right, so do you guys all keep your boxes for your electric devices? For the most, I don't always do it, but almost always I do. With the thinking being that if I ever have to send it back, or if I sell it to send it to somebody, it's good to have the original box. But now with as many devices as I have, it gets to be more and more problematic because you start consuming a lot of space with empty boxes. Most of mine are in one of my 2 sheds outside right now, so this one will be joining them as well. There, right up here. This feels big. All right, so to attach to the front trucks, we have guarantee and a warning handout, and it just basically says, abide by traffic laws, wear protection, all reasonable requests. Man, it's big. It's almost as long as the table. big tires. All right, so for comparison's sake, let's grab the Meepo here. This is my 42-inch Meepo V2P KT kicktail. Let's see how this compares size-wise. All right, so the wheels fit inside the wheelbase of the X1. The actual board length, though, is almost identical. This must be 42 inches. It's almost identical. But you can just see the difference in size and profile. So you can see in most ways the Backfire X1 just kind of is bigger. Bigger tires, higher height, wider trucks. But it's not quite as shocking of a difference as I thought it might be, but there's a substantial size difference. So I wonder, it's nighttime, so I wonder if I'll be able to ride this at all. I wonder if it has any juice whatsoever. Oh, another warning. We have another warning about wearing safety gear, helmets, all that kind of stuff. Turn it on. Let's see if I can turn on the remote. Hopefully we have some charge. And again, I'm doing this without reading instructions. Back of the board, front of the board. We have a red light here. Let's see if we have juice. Alright, it looks like we have maybe 3 bars of battery, so that's not bad. But I probably need to just quickly look at the instructions. I felt like it was spinning pretty slow, so I have a feeling it's on the most conservative mode. So let me read for a second. Alright, so even though the board has looks like approximately 75% of battery, the remote was showing red, so I'm going to just I have it on a charger right now. I'm going to let that charge up a little bit and just peruse the manual. So unlike the Meepo, which has a kind of an older-fashioned plug-style charger like that connection, the Backfire has a charge connection that is more similar to what you would get on an EUC, three-prong keyed. So I'm not really sure which is better or worse, but I would imagine this is a little bit better. This is also a higher amperage charger than what the Meepo is. As I'm just reading through this, if you're watching this video, you probably, well, not necessarily, but there's a good chance you know a lot of the specs of the Ranger X1 already. The wheel size is 6.5 inches. I think I said they might have been 6. They're 6.5 inch wheels. The full charge time, I mentioned this before, is rated as 6 hours. The motors, the integrated hub motors in this are 900 watt motors, and there's 2 of them. So that's 1800 watts of power. That's impressive when you consider that the Dualtron dual motors are 800 watt motors, and you have seen how that accelerates. So that's a lot of power. Board weight 30 pounds or 13.8 kilograms. Performance, the max user weight is rated at 120 kilograms or 265 pounds. Max range of 20 miles. I'm going to definitely test that. Or 32 kilometers. High speed mode has a max speed of 22 miles an hour or 36 kilometers an hour. And then the economic mode for more range has a max speed of 12.4 miles an hour or 20 kilometers an hour. One small thing that I prefer on the Meepo to the Ranger is the Meepo, in addition to being able to see the battery level on the remote, it also has a battery indicator on the actual board itself. I do like that. It does not appear that the Ranger has that. Not a huge deal, but just I think it's nice to be able to just take a glance at the board and see how much juice you have. The tires are rubber tires. They're not air filled. They're a honeycomb rubber, I guess. So you know they're solid tires. They are not pneumatic. They don't have air inside of them. The trucks on the Ranger are a double kingpin design, which allows you to have a turning radius, according to them, of as little as 2 meters. Be interesting to see if I get anywhere close to that. But if that proves to be true, that's a hell of a tight turning range for something this big. That would be pretty amazing. Okay, nothing earth-shattering in the manual. Just basically, I was just curious about the remote functions. Pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything too surprising there. So I want to see if the remote. It only takes 30 minutes to fully charge the remote. So I've had it on there for at least 10. It's probably enough for me to just go outside and try to ride it a little bit. All right, we are having at least some juice in the remote here. So let's turn on the remote. Turn on the board. And once you get a connection, this light will stay solid. Now I think I want to put it into slower mode. Okay, slower mode. When you hit the mode button, see how those 4 lights change quickly? That means you're in fast mode. Hit it again. Slower. That's slower mode, which only has a top speed of 12.4 miles an hour, I guess. But since I've never ridden this before, I think that's probably a wise idea. It didn't adjust the trucks, didn't do anything. I just want to see how it feels. Interesting. Yeah, that felt very smooth. I suspect, this uses, I'm sure it uses a different ESC than the Meepo. The throttle response is very smooth. The braking is noticeably smoother. And riding on rubber tires, wow, what a difference. Very cool. I'm going to see that light that I was given with the board, if it has a charge on it. Because I want to ride a little bit. I want to ride a little bit more. Alright, my GoPro battery died. I just threw it on the charger for like 15 minutes. Hopefully it's enough to finish this. While I was waiting, I put this mounting plate on the front for the light. Hopefully I did it correctly. I just removed 2 of the screws, put the mounting plate on and put the screws through them. This light is sweet, man. It's super bright. It has regular settings and a twinkle setting, for max visibility. Well, that was high beams, this is low beams, and then that's a twinkle. And it's rechargeable as well, so that's awesome. This is really a nice little light. Not that I'm going to ride a lot at night, but alright, so let's go back out. I'm still in the slow mode, or slower mode. A couple differences I've noticed. There is no carry handle built into the Backfire like there is in the Meepo. Especially with the weight of this thing, it definitely would be a welcome addition. I understand it could possibly sacrifice deck strength, but this is not easy to carry because it's heavy. It also does not have like the parking brake feature. On the Meepo remote, if you push back, it kind of locks it in place, for you just to stand on it to mount it. This one does not. So that's just it's a minor thing. Just takes some getting used to. So I did ride it around a little bit while the GoPro was charging. One thing I've noticed is you can hear the sound coming from the tires, almost like out around, I guess, but I'm hoping that's just, like nubs on the tire just have to get worn in. That's my guess, I hope. From manufacturing, there could be some imperfections in the tire that will get worn off quickly as you ride a little bit more. Again, I'm in the slow mode that has a max of 12 miles an hour. This feels, at least right now, it feels fine. Until I get more used to it and more comfortable. The ride, wow, what a difference. Handling like little bumps and imperfections in the road that would be rattling my teeth on the Meepo, no problem on the Backfire. You can see that headlight does a really nice job, man. Really nice. I'm not going to even throw it in the higher speed mode during this initial ride at night. I'd rather have some daylight to do that. Throttle response, very smooth. Much smoother than I'm used to on the Meepo.
But again, I am in the slower mode, so maybe at the faster speeds or the higher power output, it would be more sudden. But I can tell you, braking and acceleration right now feels a lot different than I'm accustomed to. In a good way. It feels really good. So again, you could hear that tire noise I was talking about. So hopefully someone that's knowledgeable about the X1 could chime in and say, oh yeah, that's normal, just to make me feel a little bit better. I mean, it rides fine, but that sound is definitely there. Yeah, and like I said, carrying the Backfire, this is going to be your default carry mode, which is fine for short distances, I guess, but I wouldn't want to do it very long or lug it up a bunch of stairs. Alright, so I have it inside and I have it on the charger. I see some interesting behavior there. Watch that light. It's flipping between red and green, which is weird. Let me just turn it on one more time and see what the battery indicator on the remote says, because I thought it only says 75%, so it should be charging. Okay, so remote on, board on. Okay, we're paired. Hit that once, it shows you the power. Okay, when you do this, I mean, it shows. Oh, sorry, did not mean to do that. 3 lights. So sure seems like it's 75% full. Another reason it's nice to have a battery indicator down here, just as a second source of verification. I'm not quite sure, again, if that's normal behavior or not. You know, sometimes with chargers, as they get towards the higher end of a full charge, they will slow down and do a trickle charge. So maybe that's what's happening here, but I guess I'll have to do some research to verify that. Alright, so there you go. There's my initial unboxing and testing of the Backfire Ranger X1. So far, yeah, I'm impressed. The quality seems really good. The ride feels so much different than what I'm used to. Really comfortable over uneven surfaces. Really feels good. So I'll be sure to be doing some more reading and testing and asking questions. But hopefully you found this interesting. I think the board costs me $7.99. I think it's normally $8.99. It's either normally $8.99 and I paid $7.99, or it's normally $9.99 and I paid $8.99. There's a $100 off special, which I do not know if they're still running. So yeah, that's what it costs. So if you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing for all sorts of personal electric vehicle content. As you can see, I have quite the variety here. I'm going to be needing to rethink and reorganize the way that I have some of this stuff set up, and all the chargers and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of getting out of hand, so I need to do something about that. But we'll get there. But you know, electric unicycles, Dualtron scooters, electric skateboards, the one wheel, you name it, I got it. As far as categories of electric vehicles, I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I'm sure there is, but this covers most of the modern personal electric vehicles that I'm aware of. So anyways, hope you found the video interesting. Until next time, let me know. Magic.